Okay, this is Orlando Wilson here, and what I want to talk about in this video is the main points of a conversation I had with somebody yesterday who's in the investigations business, who's doing well for themselves, who's progressing. I've dealt with them over the years. They were one of my students many, many years ago, and they've progressed well. And this gentleman has been dealing with an investigations case, and they're having issues because it's a little bit of a they have a client that's been threatened, etc., and their police department, their local police department, won't take the case seriously, which I understand. And this happens in a lot of cases where people have been threatened, people have been stalked. The police in many places will not take such things seriously until there's an incident. Over the years, I've dealt with this many times in many places where we've had, well, our clients have had issues. We've had issues where you got people threatening others, etc. And you go to the police and you say to them, okay, somebody's been threatened, etc. Can we do something about it? And most of the times the police are going to be like, well, there's been no crime. This is where, if you're dealing, when you're approaching the police for whatever reasons, and when you're approaching law enforcement for whatever reasons, you've got to remember you have to present things properly. And how you present the case, how you present the evidence you have is very, very important, whether the police will take you seriously. A lot of people just come, they just bimble into the police departments, the police stations, and say, okay, this has happened, that's happened, etc., with little evidence. If you or a client is being threatened, or if there's been criminal activity that you've identified during a case of an investigation, you have to make sure when you present that to the police, it's properly packaged. You need to present it to the police. When you go to the police, you need to also ensure that you are presenting it properly, down to the way you're presenting yourself, etc. And I know of one case we were dealing with, or really still are dealing with, in Belgium, where a lady was, I would say, has had major issues over the years, including patient abuse from doctors, and nothing's happened about it. And I witnessed the patient abuse. But under Belgium law, when this was presented to certain lawyers, etc., the fact that they described me as an American private investigator, my opinions don't matter in Belgium, apparently, even though I witnessed patient abuse, physical abuse, but it doesn't matter because I'm a foreigner, which is a little bit strange, because I thought everything concerning the physical abuse of people, the physical assault of people, it doesn't matter where the people witnessing it are from, they witnessed it. But that's Belgium law, which is a little bit strange, to say the least. But this is where how you present. This lady had issues because the way she was presenting herself, and she's had major issues over the time, she got a little bit too emotional when presenting evidence to the police, and in the end, and the authorities, I think they started to disregard her because she was too emotional. When you present evidence to the police, you need to make sure the evidence is properly prepared, properly presented, and you are presenting it in a professional manner. This is where a lot of people lose out. If you do that, especially in cases where people have been threatened, the police might take it seriously. The police might follow up. But you got to remember, a lot of major police departments, they're getting a lot of calls from crazy people all the time, and are generally, especially these days with police funding being cut, etc., they have other things to worry about apart from what they see, somebody turning up and somebody said nasty words to them on social media, etc. So this is where you have to build the case, you have to get the evidence, you have to present it properly, try and get a contact at the police department and put it in front of the right person. And generally then, if it's properly put together, properly presented, you should get some good cooperation from local police, etc. The only place where I think these days police take social media threats seriously, as long as you're of certain communities, is the United Kingdom. So if you offend somebody of certain genders, communities in the United Kingdom, then the police will take it seriously. But if you're of other genders and can I put it, of other genders and social groups. People will be threatening to kill you and they're not particularly interested. But if you offend people, it's another thing, right? But that's United Kingdom, which is a little bit strange at the moment. So wherever you are, when you're trying to present things to the police, make sure you have your evidence and then put it in front of them and see what happens. But again, that's part of your job if you're a professional investigator, of being able to package things properly and being able to communicate with people properly, including government agencies. If on the other scale we're talking about dealing with things internationally, it's a whole nother ball game. And trying to get I'll do another video about that later on, because trying to deal with legal issues internationally can be a major challenge for various aspects, if not jurisdictions, etc., 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 which is a headache we deal with. We've dealt with fairly often, but there are ways of getting things done, which I'll talk about in the future. In the meantime, follow me along on social media. I prefer LinkedIn these days, but we're up on the main social media platforms. I have an array of articles up on the blog. Truth only has a few friends. The Risk Inc. website's now over on that platform, same platform. The new URL for Risk Incorporated is risksinc.com. I have an array of books up on Amazon that talk about various aspects of the close protection, security business, etc., etc. We provide a full range of security investigations, tactical training, etc., etc. So check out our website, check out our content. And if you've got any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I will get back to you when I get the time. In the meantime, as always, try to be good, stay safe, and stay out of trouble. And remember, if you're dealing with law enforcement or any government agency, you need to ensure that you're presenting yourself properly, and whatever evidence you have, and you need to have good evidence, you're presenting that properly to the people you're dealing with. That can possibly then open doors. If you act like a cowboy, if you act like an idiot, then don't expect doors to open. So in the meantime, be good, stay safe, and as I said, always say, try to stay out of trouble, which can be difficult for a lot of people.